Hey gang, it's me Uncle Todd here, and we look at the Marvel one-shot special, Werewolf by Night. Now, back in the 70s, when I was a kid, loved the Marvel monster books. Tomb of Dracula, Werewolf by Night, Little Mummy, Frankenstein. Well, not so big on Frankenstein, although it picked up after he got into the modern world. And, well, of course, the usual superhero stuff. But, yeah, I always had a thing for the monsters. Swamp Thing, Man Thing, Dr. Spectre. Gold Key's best comic book. Anyway, Werewolf by Night. It opens in black and white. Nice little throwback to the old Universal movies. And after some narration about monster hunting and the Bloodstone, we come to a group of monster hunters. And they've been brought together because the original, or I should say the former leader, has passed on. And they're being gathered so that they can have a contest to see who will now lead them. Normally it would have gone to the daughter, Elsa, but she's been estranged from the family. And although she does show up that night, she is not given any special treatment. They are going to have to compete not only against each other, but a monster. They're all going to be sent out into a kind of graveyard garden type thing in the back of the estate with no weapons. All weapons that they will need are somewhere in that garden. And they have to get the weapons, defeat the monster, get the Bloodstone. The Bloodstone is hooked to the monster. And whoever gets that is the leader. But the thing is, not only do they kill the monster, they can kill each other to keep them from getting the Bloodstone before the other person does. So this is a ruthless little competition. So they all go out there and we see some battles between some of the contestants. And Elsa Bloodstone is a badass. She kills one of them and almost kills another. And then one of the hunters comes upon the creature. And it's not a werewolf. It's Man Thing. And this guy who came upon it, he's not really a monster hunter. He was disguised as one. They're actually friends. And he's there to help him escape. And then he meets up with Elsa, and they're inadvertently trapped in a mausoleum where they discuss things, and he explains he's not after the Bloodstone, doesn't care about the Bloodstone. He wants to save the monster. The monster's his friend. If she'll help him save the monster, he'll help her get the Bloodstone. It's a deal. So she breaks into one of the tombs because she remembers a story of the great-grandmother, and she would always believe that she would not die, and that if she was ever buried, she would come back, and so she has a key hidden in her crypt. They get out. She goes to get the monster. He tells her his name is Ted. So she goes to get the monster. He has an explosive device. So he goes and he blows a hole in the wall. And Man Thing escapes. But before he does, Elsa, using a grappling hook type gadget, retrieves the Bloodstone. But it falls to the ground. And the other guy, he goes to pick it up. And it shoots him back and paralyzes him. About this time, everybody else comes up. And, well, Elsa's mother's kind of pissed. Not only did she get the monster help to escape, she was helped by a monster. So they're caged up together. And turns out the hunter is Jack Russell, the hereditary werewolf from the comic book, Werewolf by Night. He tries to get Elsa sent into his memory bank so that he'll remember her when he changes. Normally, he still would have 5 days left for the full moon, but the Bloodstone can, in fact, force you to change immediately. And they do. And he does not attack Elsa. He rips out of the cage and just destroys the guards. It is nasty. Fake CGI blood is hitting the camera. And there is this great scene where he's fighting all these guards. And he's killing them. And the way the lighting works is there's this door that's coming down. And there's this flickering light. And so as the door comes down, everything gets deeper and deeper in shadow until finally at the end, all you're seeing nothing but darkness and hearing the screams. Amazing. Elsa, meanwhile, gets out and she fights and kills the other hunters. But her mother is then using the Bloodstone to try and destroy Jack. And Elsa, using the grappling device, jerks her mother back and she drops the Bloodstone, which then Elsa picks up. Jack, in werewolf form, jumps on Elsa, but because he had done the scent thing, and because she doesn't show fear, he leaves her and goes off through a door into the woods. Well, Elsa's mother is about to kill her for this, when who should show up? Man-Thing, who causes the mother to burst into flames, because as we all know, whoever knows fear dies at the touch of the Man-Thing, or burns at the touch of the Man-Thing. And then Elsa directs him to which way Jack went. And as she sits down into the main seat, the throne as it were, she is now the head of the Monster Hunting Society. And the picture turns to color. And we end with Jack waking up. He's back in human form. Man-Thing has made him some coffee, a little campsite, and then they have a nice little conversation about... it's one-sided because Jack can understand Man-Thing, but we can't. There's no subtitles, but the gist of it is they talk about the pretty girl and who saved who. Really, really good one-off. I would love for this to become a series, and they could bring in the other great Marvel monster characters, Dracula, the Frankenstein monster, the Living Mummy, some others, weren't there? Oh, bring in Howard the Duck. He'd fit in well there since he was created by the same guy that created Man-Thing. In fact, that's where he debuted, was in Man-Thing. Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing this as a regular show. Highly recommended, especially if you're a monster fan. A lot of gore, but it's not... it's mostly in the latter half, and it's not that graphic because, as we learned with Tarantino's Kill Bill, black and white gore is not quite as bad as when it's in brilliant living color. But highly recommend this. It's really good. That's all I have to say about this. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.